On the 24th of October, Yes Scotland held a public meeting in Kilbirnie to discuss the issues in the referendum. We asked the speakers why they thought the men and women of the Garnock Valley should vote yes.
Now, Dennis Canavan is the kind of Labour Party that we'd like to be in, the kind of Labour Party we aspire to. If you compare Dennis to what we've got in the Labour Party now, especially at UK level, we had the shambles of Ed Miliband took, 9 months to come out and eventually say he was against the bedroom tax. That would never have happened with a real Labour Party in Scotland. It's very clear that New Labour is holding Scottish Labour back. It's holding Scotland back. There are many, many things that Scotland would have done and a Scottish electorate would have voted for. For instance, nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapons would not be on the Clyde if it was left to the Scottish Labour Party. The austerity and support for Osborne's budget that we're seeing from New Labour, Scottish Labour Party would never do anything like that. So really I want independence, not just to get my country back and for the democratic reason I get my country back. I want independence to get my Labour Party back. A Labour Party we can be proud of. A Labour Party that so many people now find themselves, even people like me who still vote Labour, you go in, you're not voting for Labour, you're voting for New Labour. So when you come back for the ballot box, you feel you've got to go and wash your hands. Well, I want rid of that. I want to be part of a Labour Party that we're proud of. The kind of Labour Party that stood up for the miners back in the 80s. The kind of Labour Party that stood by UCS. The kind of Labour Party that could and should be calling now for the nationalisation of Grangemouth. That's all I want. I just want my Labour Party back.
Yes, research shows that women are less likely to be supportive of independence than men. But to be honest, that's not that they're anti-independence, it's because they're not decided yet. Women are less likely to take risks than men are, so they'll take a lot longer to make decisions. So the important thing is that we actually do talk to women. Research has also shown that when we talk to women, they nearly always come over to the yes side. The important thing is just to listen to the issues that they have and discuss what things can be better after independence for women and their families. Women are disproportionately affected by welfare, by things like that they're less attracted to aggressive foreign policy, and both of these things are major issues that are reserved for Westminster.
Well, I myself am a convert to the cause of independence, and my conversion is based not on any great emotion. It's based mainly on my experience, particularly my parliamentary experience, 26 years at Westminster, 8 years in the Scottish Parliament. And I've been retired for 6 years now, and that's given me time to think, time to reflect. I've come to the conclusion that Westminster is completely out of touch with the people of Scotland. Whereas the Scottish Parliament, although it's not perfect, I mean, it makes mistakes, it's made up of human beings, and human beings do tend to make mistakes now and again. But by and large, I think that the Scottish Parliament responds far more positively and far more readily to the wishes, the needs, and the aspirations of the people of Scotland. Let me just give me some examples. Students in Scotland get a fairer deal. They have free higher education, thanks to the Scottish Parliament. Senior citizens who require care in the community, they get a fairer deal because their personal care and their nursing care is free of charge. Sick people in Scotland pay no prescriptions. People who are sick south of the border have to pay about, well, it's over £8 per item now for prescription charges. So these are just some examples of higher standards of social justice in Scotland thanks to the Scottish Parliament. And I believe profoundly that if the Scottish Parliament was given the full powers within an independent Scotland, then it would be able to do so much more. If it was given powers over foreign affairs and defence, there'd be no involvement in illegal warfare, and we'd be able to get rid of nuclear weapons. If the Scottish Parliament powers over the financial institutions, we'd be able to stop bankers just lining their pockets with big fat bonuses and bringing the country to the brink of economic ruin. And if we had powers over tax and national insurance, we'd have a fair system of taxation and benefits, including getting rid of the iniquitous bedroom tax. So I see independence not as an end in itself, but as a means of bringing about a better Scotland, a fairer Scotland, a more prosperous Scotland, and giving us Scots the opportunity to play a full part in the international community in order to build a better world.